Our first tale whisks us off to the ancient city of Babylon, where three devout men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, stood firm in their faith. When commanded to bow to a golden statue, they refused, choosing God over the king's decree. Their audacity landed them in a fiery furnace, a punishment that should have spelled their end. But miraculously, they emerged unscathed, protected by a divine presence. This story stands as a powerful testament to God's protection when we remain steadfast in our faith, even in the face of adversity. Next, we step into the life of a desperate widow and her encounter with the prophet Elisha. With nothing but a jar of oil and mounting debts, she feared for her sons who were at risk of being taken as slaves. Elisha instructed her to borrow as many jars as she could and start pouring her oil. Miraculously, the oil didn't stop flowing until the last jar was filled. The sale of the oil wiped out her debt, saving her sons from servitude. Her story underscores God's provision in times of need, especially when we turn to Him in faith. We then journey to the home of Mary and Martha, two sisters with contrasting approaches to their faith. Martha busied herself with serving Jesus, while Mary chose to sit at His feet, soaking in His words. Martha's frustration at her sister's apparent lack of help led Jesus to remind her that Mary had chosen the better part. This story encourages us to balance service and devotion, reminding us that while serving is important, listening to God's word holds equal, if not more, significance. Our fourth narrative takes us to the fields of Israel, where Gideon, a man of little faith, was chosen by God to deliver his people from their oppressors. Gideon asked God for a sign, a fleece of wool that would be wet with dew while the ground remained dry, and God obliged. This story highlights that while it's human to doubt, it's divine to trust. Gideon's story teaches us about testing and trusting God's will and the transformative power of faith. Finally, we meet Bartimaeus, a blind man with an unshakable faith. His fervent cries for healing caught Jesus' attention amidst a bustling crowd. Jesus, moved by his faith, healed him, restoring his sight. Bartimaeus' story epitomizes the notion that faith can move mountains, demonstrating that unwavering belief in God's power can bring about miraculous transformations in our lives. To conclude, these stories bring to light the power of faith, trust, and devotion. They teach us that God's protection is ever present, His provision is abundant in times of need, and His word holds immense value. They remind us to balance our service with devotion, to trust in God's will even when doubt seeps in, and to hold steadfast in our faith, knowing that it has the power to move mountains. These narratives are not just stories from an ancient book, but timeless lessons that continue to guide us on our spiritual journey. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more Christian content.